And that's us. Good. Hello, everyone. And as the dawn dawns, the dawn begins. It's Snowrunner. Oh dear, where are my words today? Welcome in. Good to have you all here. It's exciting times for Snowrunner, it would seem. It seems this week has just been insane. In terms of updates for games. Not only did we have the new Farming Sim DLC drop, which we enjoyed on Wednesdays. Be sure to check the YouTubes for that if you didn't already. But yeah, hey Walker, nice to see you. Nice to see you very much. How you doing, good sir? Yeah, but Snowrunner has had well, you know, if it had just been the Dragon DLC trucks added to the game, that would be something on its own. But as many of you probably know, it wasn't just the Dragon trucks that dropped the other day. It was a whole patch, and oh boy, did we get some. we got some updates, guys. We got some big updates. We got some exciting updates for trucks that were already good and now are phenomenal, and trucks that were terrible and now are actually kind of usable. So, all in all, quite a positive time for Snowrunner. Not to mention a positive time for Season 16, because look where this now goes! Look at that! I mean, I literally said last week, I think, or was it last week? It might have been last week, or it might have been the week before. But I said, oh, I'll never use this gateway again, you know, or at least the gateway, shall we say, here. This one, up here. Having opened it and having dragged stuff up there and complained so much about the sawtooth rocks that line this kind of road here and everything like that. Apparently now we actually have a reason to use it. I don't know if this was the original plan that Saber had for this gateway. I mean, it certainly feels like a better connection point than just connecting back to Selton River National Park. But yeah, we now have a shortcut. And that is phenomenal. I don't know how much use we'll get out of it, considering that we've now got a full road network across the entire region, and very, very, very little reason to go to this side of the map here, unless we have to go to the garbage plant or something like that, or maybe we need some metal beams at some point. But other than that, that's a good addition. A lot of people will get a lot of good use out of that, I think. But I think I'm going to start this delivery, because today I have plenty of things on the cards that I would like to get started. We'll just have to see how much of it all we get done. But you can bet your bottom dollar that we are going to be getting to grips with some of the new vehicles today. And also maybe even some of the vehicles that have had changes. Actually, let's have a little chat about that. Oh, what are you saying there, Walker? Oh, you've travelled 1.4 million miles in this region. That's a lot, Walker. I don't know how many miles I've travelled in this region, but I imagine it's quite a lot as well. But yeah, the shortcut will definitely help in some cases, perhaps. Would have been a whole lot better to have that shortcut in some of the previous episodes where we had to drive all the way through Selton River just to get to where we wanted to go, but let's not dwell on the past, and let's... Whoa! Yep, I figured that was going to happen. Darn thing, I don't even have any... Oh, we have a repair trailer not far into the next map. We'll just have to deal with that. That's just me trying to take corners too quickly. My own silly fault. But yeah, we'll have a look in the garage very soon at the new truck trucks. But let's talk a little bit about some of the changes that have been made to the old trucks, specifically some of the base game trucks, because some of those have had some very, very welcome upgrades. Let's start small, so to speak, with the Scout class, because I don't know what they did to deserve this love, but both the Scout 800 and the CK 150 have both had really nice upgrades. They've had, I believe their fuel usages have been slightly adjusted or something like that, and also they have been given massive extra spare parts and fuel supplies that can be added to both of them. And both of them have also received a crawler suspension similar to the Wrangler. And you all know how much I loved my little Jeep Wrangler. Since I broke that out of the garage for the first time, I have used it pretty much consistently since. I mean, until the Earth Roamers came out, and then obviously the Earth Roamers have kind of taken a front position, but I still love my little Jeep Wrangler. And now the CK and the 800 have the same kind of suspension, which is amazing. Hopefully that will fix some of the Scout 800's stability issues. The Khan Marshal has also been given a crawler suspension, and it has been unnerfed. So basically, or almost unnerfed. I think it might have had an 80-85 litre tank originally when it came out, and then it got nerfed down to 40, and it's back up to 70. And it's had the same treatment, I think. I think it's had so basically that's really good. And it's also been given a trailer hitch. Finally, you know, I'm still waiting on the Razvani Hercules to get a trailer hitch. I would love for that thing to have a trailer hitch because I really like that vehicle. It's like a mini Ford, and yeah, that would be really interesting vehicle to have a trailer hitch. In all honesty, but you know, things happen slowly sometimes with SnowRunner, if at all. So we'll just have to wait and see on that front. But yeah. Oh, they got 40-inch type. Nice. Actually, I do remember hearing about that. Yes, the Scout 800 and the CK have 40-inch tires now. You know, those, like the CK especially, you know, I really actually like the CK. It's just that there are slightly better trucks available. Like the Yar is probably a bit better, or it was. Certainly, like the Earth Roamers, like I mentioned, they're better, or they were. It's going to be interesting how the use of the CK, the 800, and the Marshall change. It's going to be interesting to see just how many people swap over to them, because I think the Khan Marshall particularly would be a really dark horse kind of addition to people's fleets now. You know, with its with the ability to hitch a trailer, so you can tow a fuel tanker or something like that behind you. I think that thing has some serious potential now, and with its bigger fuel tank and all that. So, you know, just have to see how that goes. But the other vehicles that got buffs, slightly more interesting, I will say. I mean, the Scouts are nice, don't get me wrong. But the big additions have been in the Cat family, particularly the 745, the Big Cat, as we call it, but also the 770, the one you get in Alaska, has also received upgrades, which is amazing because that vehicle was literally the actual pinnacle of uselessness. even more so than like the Scout 800 was. Like the Alaska Cat was quite possibly one of the worst vehicles in the game, I would say. 770, yes. That is indeed what it is. Okay. Perfect. This trailer is now pretty much useless. Oh no, that's the van body. Okay, that's even better. Chunk. Some repairs there. Grab some fuel as we pass by here. But yeah, so what's happened to them? Basically, they've been given a new lease of life. Both of them have received a trailer hitch, which is fantastic. Well, I mean, they could still pull trailers, you know, but now they can actually hook it up and pull a trailer or something else, you know, so they can, not only can they deliver cargo, but they can also tow a vehicle, stuff like that. So, massive upgrade in use there. Both of them received a new maintenance frame add-on to go alongside the fuel tank that they can already have. So that's nice as well. Obviously, with it being a maintenance frame, it's less fuel than the tank, but you also get repair parts, which is nice. Makes it even an even more versatile rescue and recovery vehicle, which is really, really good. The 770 also got a high saddle to go alongside its heavy saddle, which means that it is no longer relegated to towing simply the big Alaska trailers. It can actually, you know, it can actually pull heavy trailers, like high saddle trailers now, which means it has access to the 6 slot with spare parts and fuel trailer, which I think would be an amazing combo for it. Because that'll put all the weight through the drive axle. Might be worth a look. Well, I would say it would be worth a look, but I sold that vehicle a long time ago because I had no intention of ever using it, and it never looked like it was going to get upgrades. So, yeah. Well, it could already tow those ones. It was the only vehicle that had a heavy saddle in order to tow them. But it now has a high saddle as well, so it's got extended availability, which is really, really nice. The other Cat also got a high saddle, I believe it was. I believe it was a high saddle that it got, yes. But it also got, in addition to its cargo container carrier thing, it also got a regular flatbed. So now the Cat, not only can it tow a trailer, but it can also carry actual cargo. Can't have a crane, sadly, but that's, you know, not too bad. There have been worse scenarios there. Right, okay. Now we probably want... Oh, there! No, bad! Oh, god damn it all. Oh well. Gosh damn it all. I'm trying to turn on. Swine of a dog. Right. Oh, the lights on. What are you doing? Yeah, so the Cat is looking really good. Oh yeah, it got a snorkel as well, which is also incredible. Really, really good. So the Cat 745 has possibly had the biggest glow up of any vehicle in the game thus far. It really is kind of an all-round amazing vehicle. I mean, it was already high A tier, low S tier for me, simply because of its power and its ability to go anywhere, and it being like quite possibly the best rescue vehicle in the entire game. But come on, what are you doing? Come on, move. Something is... getting stuck on. I don't know, but now we're in the darn trees. Of course we are. Why would we not be in the darn trees? See, I'm talking too much and not actually paying attention to what I'm doing. That's what's going on now. Right, this way. Ah, come on, Derry. That's it. Let's go. Right, give me a second, guys. I'll get back to the vehicle chatter in a second. I just need to get myself sorted here before things go badly pear-shaped. I don't have a crane on this vehicle, so the last thing I want is for this to fall over. That would... Whoa! He says as he nearly feckin' dumps it in the swamp. Get back on your darn wheels, you sucker. Oh, blimey. Seems like the moment I open my mouth to say anything, everything goes wrong. Oy. Oh, okay. Okay, I can breathe again, I think. I think I can breathe again. Okay. Crazy angle there, and I'll get round there. Back round like that. Perfect. Okay. Woof. Right. We're almost on a flatter piece of road. I can check chat and carry on with my witterings. There we go. Okay. But yeah, as I was saying, the 745 is definitely one of the best vehicles in the game now, in terms of being able to get places, deliver stuff, and, you know, support your fleet. Like, it's got options to do pretty much everything now, which is phenomenal. So, all really good stuff, you know? Good stuff. Then, then we get onto the Dragon Pack. Oh dear. I've not actually had the chance to try either of them just yet. I know other people have. I know other reviewers have already been going kind of crazy about them. So I will just say it here. They do kind of look a bit broken. You know, they look kind of insane. The Avonhorn is quite possibly one of the most powerful, heavy, big cargo hauling trucks in the game thus far, period. You know, it's kind of mad. Other than that, the what's the other one called? It's got a really weird name. But that truck is a heavy-duty truck, and is also looking like it's going to be the best heavy-duty truck in the game. Period. Actually, once I've delivered this cargo, we'll actually head over to the garage and have a look at both of them. Pantera, that's it. Pantera. Yeah. It does look kind of amazing. Both trucks have some ridiculously awesome upgrades available to them. Some really strong options. So, yeah, we'll have a look because I have already purchased both of them. Oy, right. I've already purchased both of them, but I haven't had them out of the garage just yet. So, let's go to said garage. Padera. So we have the Padera STD4. Kind of an unfortunate series of letters there, but never mind. And the Avonhorn A15. 15. That sounds like a road round my neighbourhood. But yeah, really good vehicles. I also purchased the Mac Pinnacle because I hadn't gotten around to buying that yet. All in all, I think I had just shy of 1 million money points at the end of last session. I'm now down to 300,000 again. So it's been an expensive day. But let's have a look. I'll give you a little look at these two because for those that haven't seen it, it's got some beastly engines. I mean, look at the. Ooh, sorry guys, my eye has been very uncomfortable all day. I think something irritated it earlier and now it's just watering like crazy. Yes, I did. I got the Pinnacle. I will try and use it. Advanced Special Gearbox, which is amazing because it has always on all-wheel drive, so we don't have a fuel penalty, which is fantastic. No options for suspension. Big chunky tyres. I've got the Avonhorn mud tyres on it at the moment, but it also gets the OHDs, which I know a lot of people really like. So, you know, you can take your fancy there. We'll give the Avonhorn tyres a chance first, and then we'll see how it goes. It also has OHD chains, which is really nice. The winch options are good. Spare wheel is good. Snorkel options, pretty good. Hey, babe. But this is where things get really interesting because look at the selection of upgrades that it can have. You know, it may have a little dumpy body, but it can certainly pack on the upgrades, which is really nice. This is a really nice one. The universal upgrade. It's like a sleeper cab extension. Extra fuel, repair parts, and tyres, which is nice because it doesn't get a roof rack. So this is in place of the roof rack, which is perfect. Short logging frame, it can do the crane and long log carrier, which is really nice. So if you want those two things together, it can have those together, but you obviously can't have it with the cab add-on. So, you know, you're about to watch a terrible movie. Which movie, babe? But yeah, service van body, short logging frame, maintenance frame, sideboard bed, seismic unit, fuel tanks. Same old kind of thing. It does get the slider crane, which is really nice. So I've currently got it set up with a high saddle and the slider crane, and we will get a 6-slot trailer for this thing, and we'll put it through its paces. This thing might take out the Derry Special as our most used heavy hauler truck, but we'll see how that goes. Megalopolis. Why does that sound familiar? I'm sure you've mentioned that to me before, babe. Another interesting thing is with this particular add-on, it gets extra fuel. Look at that, 160 units of fuel, and you can see the fuel tank on it, which is really nice. I think it gets it with both of those. So the stock doesn't have it, but the other two do, which is really good. Really nice. So that's the Avonhorn. We'll give that a good use, a good look as we go. Ooh. Now we have the Pedera. And the Pedera I was particularly interested in. The Avonhorn looks great. It really does look strong. But this thing actually looks game-breaking. I would say this thing actually could be the more game-breaking of the two of them. I don't know yet. Testing will confirm. But from what I've heard, this thing has better fuel consumption than the Azov 6. The vehicle that we all know and love for its ability to traverse 6 million miles on half a tank of fuel. You know? It's apparently got even better fuel consumption. And it gets an advanced special gearbox. Like the Avonhorn and like the Azov 6. So with the top engine here, we have a B+ in fuel efficiency. And this is supposed to be a heavy-duty truck. I was actually surprised when I learned it was heavy-duty because it looks more like an off-road. But 6 2/3, I guess, at the end of the day. Yeah, it comes with a raised suspension, which is nice. Gets it off the ground a little bit more. Yeah, that is another thing, Walker. This thing is prompt. Apparently, I really do want to get it out of the garage as soon as possible today, to give it a proper test, because this thing is not only really, really fuel efficient, but also really, really fast. And yeah, it also has 50-inch tires, which is mad. Does it get special 50-inch tires as well? Yes, it gets Pedera mud tires, as well as the OHDs and the Jet OHDs. So, you know, it literally has the best of both worlds in terms of tire options there. But we're going to give the Pedera tires a try before anything else. I think they are roughly the same kind. Well, no, the OHDs with bean doolies in the back give a little bit more width. So we'll see how that stacks up with stability, because the Pedera tires are still very chunky. Certainly the back ones are very chunky, but the OHDs definitely have a wider stance, so at the back, with them being 2 tires. So we'll see how that works out. But yeah, options are options there. Nothing really to write home about. And then we have the crane options. I mean, look at that. It can do a sideboard bed and a log loading crane. Excuse me, what? That is a combination I've never seen before. It's really, really good. Obviously, it can have the crane with the service body. It can have a crane with a short log. It can have can't have the maintenance frame, sadly. It can have the crane in this thing, which is interesting because this gives a whole bunch of fuel and spare parts. Given this thing's fuel efficiency, I'm not sure it needs it, but we'll have to test that, see if this helps it have even better range. We've got the unique flatbed, which apparently can't be used for cargo. You can't pack cargo on it, but from what I've heard from other people testing it, it actually has a winch point. You might actually even be able to see it there. Can I adjust the... Yes, just here you can see there's an actual winch inside the flatbed. Oh no, not buy it. I just want to show it off. So you can actually lower the ramps and pull the vehicle onto the back of it instead of having to drive up onto it, which is amazing. Not that that is particularly useful, but if you're like recovering a couple of vehicles, a couple of scout vehicles needed rescuing for a contract or a task or something, you could pull one of them onto the back and then tow the other one behind, you know? It's got options. 1 second, everyone. Something has definitely got my allergies going today. I do apologise. Anyway, moving on. Seismic vibrator, fuel tank, articulated water tank. It has 2 crane options, which is insane. So this crane, I believe, is more powerful. This is kind of akin to the Slider crane. So it's one of the most powerful cranes in the game, or small cranes in the game. But you can also get a rear-mounted regular American crane, the LC, which is great as well. This is probably the second best crane, I would say. And then if you combine this rear-mounted crane here with this thing, you can do that. You've got easy access to a trailer, and you've got easy access to the flatbed in this. So it's really good. You've got a roof rack. It can take the hydrolift saddle as well if you really want to. It could take the hydrolift saddle with the crane. What? Actually, I'm really interested. Could it take the hydrolift saddle with the logging crane? Ah, no, it can't. Not quite. Oh, that would have been... That would have been really good, actually, if it could have done that. But it can't. Not quite, anyway. So, yeah, that's... Where's the one I'm looking for? Completely lost. Flatbed. There it is. So, yeah, not a bad little vehicle, you know? Pretty good. So, the plan is to try and get these 2 out of the garage as quickly as possible today. And just give it a good go. But what I need to do first is we need to start getting cracked into these missions. So it's time to do some water delivery. That is the first thing. Oh, and speaking of water deliveries, guys, I found another water task. As soon as I constructed the water tower, this popped up as a task. Yeah. So all my good plans are gone to the wayside, but we should still be able to do it, everything. So the first thing we wanted to do was... Which one was it? It was one where we had to deliver a bunch of different things to different areas. It was quite local. This one here. So... Don't worry, Walker. We probably won't be using it for very long. Because I'll be real. The more I've been driving this thing, the more I've been realising it really isn't that good of a truck. I don't think it's quite as bad as some people have made it out to be, but it's certainly nothing special to write home about. I would have preferred to have been doing this water job with pretty much any other vehicle right now, but this is the one we have to do the job, so this is the one we're stuck with. Oh yeah, this fuel tank, this was the one in the swamp. I went and retrieved it between streams just so that we would have some fuel over here, because we will be backing and forthing quite a bit. So we now have the body up here, along with the CK fuel stuff. So, good stuff. Let me just... Wait, what is that? That's weird. So yeah, we basically just need to go along the path until we get to that point. So we have 2 water missions to do. We've got this one, then we're heading back to the water drop-off point, refilling, and then heading out of here. And we have then the big mission, and also the mission on the other map, I think it is. I also have some other trucks positioned on other maps, ready to start doing some other jobs. I've not got as much planned today, I will say, in terms of stuff to do. I've had a rather busy week. I just haven't had as much time to set up as I would like, but I think we've got enough to be getting on with, shall we say. Ooh. So we'll just see how we go. Get as much as possible done. So we certainly have plenty of different options. This thing has a really bad turning circle. I mean, granted, this is a very, very tight turn, but it still has a terrible turning circle. Okay, there we go. But yes, we've got 3 missions that we need to do for water delivery, and then we can carry on with some other stuff. And at that point, I think that's when I'm going to look to get the Federa and the Avonhorn out of the garage, and put them to work somehow. We'll have a look at what contracts we've got, where we need to go. Yeah, hopefully this shouldn't take us too long. The less I have to deal with water for the rest of this playthrough, the better, because that's one more thing crossed off the list. I'm already dreading having to deal with the logging situation on this map, because the more I look at that, the more I realise that I'm probably going to be making several more round trips to the logging camp for logs, because boy howdy are there a lot of them needed. Logs and planks, that is. Perfect. So that's that one done. 1 down, 2 more deliveries to go. So let's head back to the water tower, refill the tank. And then I've got to try and remember which 2 missions they were. One of them's part of the mission that we did earlier. Ooh, excuse me, everyone. So we delivered the industrial boiler. Now we have to, yeah, I don't know why that label is still there. What's going on? Something's glitched out there, hasn't it, Walker? It definitely looks slightly weird. Hopefully that disappears when we refill. But yeah, we've got the other half of the mission for the industrial boiler, and we have another mission that requires some water as well. I think that's on Solus Bay. Uh-oh. Bot attack. Done and done. Quick as that. There is one thing to be said. When your channel is getting bot activity, it does mean that, you know, people are noticing your channel, so I guess that's a slightly positive way of looking at things. I'd rather not have them, to be absolutely honest, though, but whatever. Right. Restock of the old fuel there. Right. Da-da-da-da, coming through. Yeah, this truck is just... It's not terrible, it's just lacking, you know, it just doesn't feel like anything special. It doesn't feel like it has anything particularly great going for it, you know? That's kind of the damning nature of this truck. Perfect. Okay, right. So, we have... was it this one? So, this is one of them. The Mountain Watchtower at Solace Bay. Oh, great! Yeah, I think I know exactly where that's supposed to go, and I think once we've delivered that water, we'll just leave the truck there. it can exist on a hillside somewhere. But the other one is this one here. So this is the first part that we'll be doing, and we need to go... plot ourselves a little route here, shall we? So down to here, utilize that bridge, so we'll be coming round here, down to here, down here, down to here, round this corner, across this bridge here, then we need to go, yeah, that away. So we need to come round here, up this hill here, across here, bash, bash, bosh, bing, boom, deliver there, and then we're heading to the next map. With the remains of the water to the watchtower so that we can complete that mission. And that will then only leave us needing 2,200 litres of water back to the garage, which can be, honestly, probably one of the last things we do. I might even bring this truck back during the interim just so that, you know, we don't have to bother another truck with it. And that can be its final journey, shall we say. So let's get this water delivered so that we don't have to bother with this truck no more. And then we can get on, like I said, to trying out the dragon trucks. And, come on now. That's it. What's that all about? That was very weird behaviour. That being said, I think that's kind of par for the course with this vehicle. It does seem to have weird behaviour. Oh, cooking breakfast, Walker? What you having? What's on the cards for today's breaking of the nightly fasts? I will say, actually, breakfast, a proper breakfast, is probably one of my most favourite meals of the day, you know? I'm one of these people that, if they could afford it, would probably subsist on cooked breakfasts every day, because I love a good cooked breakfast, you know? Like, bacon and eggs, What on earth? What's going on? Oh, it's tree roots. Of course it's tree roots. The bane of my existence, not only in Scandinavia, but apparently on this map too. Oh, alright. We're up and rolling. But yeah, bacon and eggs, sausage, hash brown, beans, good cup of coffee, or a cup of tea with a cup of breakfast. Either will do nice. I'm definitely more of a coffee person myself, but I enjoy a nice cup of builder's tea. That's always a nice thing to have, especially with fatty breakfast like that. But yeah, grilled cheese and ham sandwich and a coffee, huh? I can get behind that. That's kind of like yeah, I can totally go for that. Toasty, cheese and ham toasty for breakfast. Very nice indeed. Come on. Come on, that's it. Get your snows out of there, please. Thank you. Man alive. Alright. I think we're out of the worst of the trees there. Let's get to where we need to go, and promptly, if at all possible. That being said, this truck doesn't particularly do anything prompt, does it? So that is a turn and a half, isn't it? Definitely have to back that one up. That's it. Okay. Crikey, that is a steep bit of hill. Right, come on, that's it. Alright. Oh. Yeah, bad movies are always one of two things, aren't they, babe? They're either so bad that they're good, or so bad that they're just unbearable. That definitely sounds like the latter category. So, I guess this is a life lesson we've all learned today, guys. Don't bother watching Megalopolis. Because your ears will bleed out of your nose or something. Hey, I put these down. What are you doing, good sirs? How dare? At least it's easy to put them back down again. Right, okay. You know, to say it's actually had really high fuel burning numbers so far, it's actually not doing too badly in terms of fuel usage. So far. Ooh, there. That sounds terrible, babe. It's kind of an ego project with glitter, huh? Yeah, that doesn't sound fun at all. Ah, there goes the finger crack. That's been needed for about an hour now, guys. So. Go. Okay, coming round. I think this hill climb coming here is like the last really troublesome part of this journey. I have to knock it down to Come on, can I... Thank you, that winch point. Yeah, I think this hill climb here is probably going to be the worst part of the journey for this vehicle. Simply because of how kind of down on power it is. That from a slightly different angle so that the tyres aren't quite so in the mud. Better. Beautiful. That's the winch point I was looking for there. And I think we'll go this side of the tree. If we can there. With the old rear winch pull tactic. Perfection. Oof, yeah. This truck is so low on power. Like, it's actually kind of ridiculous. But we have actually nearly made it to the peak. Nearly, I say. For the love of God, can you turn? That's it. Pull the nose round. Thank you, tree, for being there. Oof. Oh, blimey. Knew that climb was actually going to be probably the worst part of this entire trip. But I did not expect it to be quite that bad. It's so bad. I feel like half of these axles aren't even working. The rear axles are just kind of for show. Man, that was a tortuous climb. Just saying there, Walker? Yeah, it just has... Just the wheels won't even turn. It's not even like they have no grip. They just don't turn. Like, not having grip, you'd still expect, like, wheel spin, as, like, the power tries to, you know, get put down. But no, just nothing at all, period. It's actually kind of embarrassing how bad this truck is. Yeah, I think we'll leave it parked on the hill once we've finished with the water delivery today. Alright. Let's get this last bit of water delivered to the watchtower on the other map, and then let's get ourselves into a better truck. At least we have considerably less weight on our tyres now, I suppose. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Probably a bad thing for traction, but a good thing for power to weight ratio, you know? So, probably equal out. That glitch is back again, where it's still giving me the reading of the tank. That's really weird. I don't know why it's doing that. Can I go around that way? I can go around that way. I'm pointing this way already. Let's just trundle around this way, shall we? That might actually be an easier way of getting around than going the other way, but hey-ho. Right. To the mountain watchtower. Should be actually able to make it to the fuel station on the other map, actually, with the fuel we've got left, because we can refuel from the roof rack before we... Lord. Come on now. It's a slight incline. Yeah. You know how last week I was using this thing? I wasn't having this much problem with it, was I? I mean, I know I was using it for different things. I was just using it for cargo hauling, but... I don't think it was this bad. Was it? Was it really this bad? And I was just trying to make, you know... Just trying not to be too negative? Or was it really this bad and I was just refusing to admit it? I don't know. I don't know which way around it is, but yeah, this truck is bad. It's really, really bad. It's not the worst truck I've had the misfortune of driving. It does at least, you know, keep going for the most part, you know. Even if you do have to battle with the winch sometime to keep it going, but yeah, this is not a very good truck at all. Sad face. Very sad face, because I actually like this truck. I love the look of this truck, you know. It's just chunky and awesome looking. It's like, this is kind of like a truck to me, you know. It looks fantastic, but it performs like a wet blanket. It's got all style and no substance. But we shall be free of it soon. Just need to deliver this water to the mountain watchtower. And that's it. I'll find another truck. I might do the dairy, because I think that's got a 2,200 litre tank, because it's got a specialist fire tank that's a bit bigger than the regular water tanks, I think, isn't it? So, yeah. Right, onwards. No, honestly, Walker, you do right. I would not recommend this truck to anyone. I'm so glad that we did not struggle to unlock it in the early stages of the game, of this region, because I was considering it. I actually looked up a guide on how to get the Chimera before you did any of the road maintenance tasks, you know, and it's possible. You know, it does involve a lot of off-road and a lot of kind of backing and forthing and some really, really terrible twists and turns to get to it, and then, you know, all that kind of stuff. You know, it was a tortuous tortuous journey, and I was like, I really don't fancy doing that for a truck. You know, I'd rather get the roads fixed first, so that's what I did. Oh boy, am I glad I did, because yeah, if I'd put in the struggle of, like, you know, spending several hours recovering this thing before I fixed all the roads, only to find out how bad it is, I wouldn't have been a happy chap. Let's just put it that way. I would not have been a happy camper whatsoever. I mean, on the flat like this, it performs pretty well. I imagine actually if you put some highway tyres on this, kept it on the tarmac and just ran with it like this, probably have an okay time, to be fair. But even then, you wouldn't really want to tackle very much gradient. You certainly don't want to go near mud in this thing. This is a low-ranked truck, that's for sure. Speaking of ranking trucks, probably ought to, at some point, do some upgrades or some updates to my tier lists. Whoa! Anyone else see that sign just catapult itself across the road there? That was very strange. But yeah, should probably do some upgrades to my tier lists, because some of the recent changes have really shifted vehicles around a little bit. And some of the trucks that have come out are, you know, some of them are great, some of them are terrible. Let me just actually put this one. So that's where we're going, the Mountain Warehouse, yes. Oh, the Mountain Watchtower, I should say. At least cross this off the list. Lovely stuff. Maybe we'll even tackle the rest of this mission once we've dropped the water off. Consumables and service parts, huh? Okay. Should be able to handle that without too much of an issue. Fuel. Slide on through. Don't stop. Don't stop believing. I didn't think I'd have to be going back to this watchtower anytime soon. But here we are. Ah, right. Not far to go, thankfully. Still further than I'd like to be having to go, but not too bad overall. Yeah, I think what we should probably try and do is, yes, we need to get the contracts done, but I think we need to focus on finishing one map at a time now. I think Solus Bay should be our primary focus. What was I? Oh, I'd forgotten I even left that truck there. Hello, plaid buddy. I think that's actually what I had planned on doing next was the rest of this mission. I completely forgot. I set all this up way earlier this week, and I completely forgot where I left half the trucks. You know, so I guess this is the mission we're doing next. But yeah, I think we should definitely start trying to focus on one map at a time, getting everything done on one map, and then moving to another map and finishing that as much as possible. I mean, it may make sense to do certain things in different orders, but I think I'm going to try and finish each map individually now, just to try and make some progress, because we're at I checked before today and we're at 58%, which is not bad at all, you know. This is the route I need to take, isn't it? Yeah, so this is going to be fun. Just tell now, this is going to be really fun because this is a really long, really twisty, turny road of doom, disaster. Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much. Right. Never mind. Enough complaining about this thing. I'd just be rehashing old territory at this point. But yeah, I think I should try and focus on finishing one map at a time, because we're at 58% for the whole region. If I can finish a map, you know, and then move on to the next one, and then finish that map and move on, then we could actually start making some good progress. So I'm going to start focusing on some of the tasks that we have to do, as well as the jobs, because we now have nearly... Whoa, duty. Can you fix a winch where I want a winch point, please? And not just at anything? With the auto winch system, Saber, please fix your auto winch system, because it's terrible. It's like, yes, I'm going to prioritize this tiny bush right next to your tire as opposed to the tree that's directly in front of me. Oh. Bridges are going to be fun. Tires don't even fit on them. So we'll focus on this mission next, and we'll see if there's any other missions that we can do at the same time as it. Like any other bits of cargo that need to be delivered to certain locations. Oh, not that menu, please. That's better. Okay. But I think if I can see, if I can start getting the percentages down, then choose buttons. Oh, I hate that so much. If I can start getting the percentages down, then I'm going to feel a whole lot better about this region. Okay, that one. On mud, delightful. The ant. That is not a nice little turn there. I do not think they were expecting us to bring quite such a large vehicle up this route. I'd forgotten how treacherous this was when we came up to get the watchtower, to be absolutely fair, so... Got another one of these little mini bridges. Feel like I'm in roadcraft again. Actually, speaking of roadcraft, guys, we will be getting back to it in a few weeks. We'll be doing a couple of weeks of farming sim, and then flicking back and forth between the two. Okay. Dive, a little bit of cliff diving. Ooh, Walker. You're making me salivate, good man. I must say, I love a grilled cheese ham. It's really nice. Yeah, we call those toasties over here. Like anything that is 2 slices of bread with something in between, and then, you know, it put in a sandwich toaster, we call a toasty. Whoa, steady on, mister. Why is this last bridge suddenly becoming a big problem for you? So a grilled cheese with ham is actually a cheese and ham toasty over here. Same thing, though, you know? Don't... That game. My hand grazes the menu button as I'm turning the wheel, and it's just like, did you want to open the menu? It's like, no, not really, but okay, I guess we are now. What a... Oh boy, okay, that's done. Oh, perfect. So I actually brought the plaid over here with some service parts. I did do something. I heard about that, Walker. Yeah, Expeditions is no longer getting any updates. It was an experiment, you know. I'm not going to say it was a bad experiment. For those that liked the stuff that it was giving, it was probably really good. But personally, I didn't enjoy it that much, as you probably all know. It's sad that they're not going to be supporting it anymore. I hope that Saber don't feel that that's going to be, like, they shouldn't do spin-off games anymore. because I do like their innovation. You know, I will say, I do like the fact that they are trying different games. I mean, Roadcraft, to me, is a massive success. I'm absolutely loving Roadcraft. As much as I complain whilst I'm playing it, that's just part of the game for me. But yeah, I know that Expeditions was definitely not my cup of tea, shall we say. But maybe one day we'll try again. I haven't been back to it since I initially decided not to bother with it anymore, so who knows? Maybe there's an update somewhere that it's had at some point along the lines that's going to change my opinion on things, but yeah, we'll have to see about that, won't we? Right, now, where on earth? Lord. This is supposed to be a road? Excuse me, game. This is not a road. This is a ridiculousness. Again, I don't think I should have brought quite as big a vehicle, but here we are. Dear me. Okay. Let's just have a look at the map here. How are we doing for our approach? Oh, wow. Okay, so we're actually going... I wonder if we can literally just skip across there and then go there. Otherwise, we've got to go down and round. I don't know how possible that is. Ooh. Might be possible. There is a convenient tree right there, as long as we don't take it too quickly. I think if I go up and over the top of that rock here, just put the safety winch onto this tree. There we go. Perfect. Saves us a little trip down and back. Fantastic. Right. Cargo. 1, 2. Perfect. Okay. Now, now we've got to get back to the coast. Oh wow, that road goes. Oh wow, all the way round there. Wow. Okay, that's unexpected. I think we'll just head back the way we came, though, rather than anything else. Let's just turn this beastie round, because we do need to go and get some consumables from the city and deliver them to the forester's house, which I think is where we took the other stuff to last week with the plaid. So, we know the plaid can get there. I would have taken more cargo had I known. Now I think going back this way, we'll go around this side here. That. Perfect. Okay. Good stuff. know I said I was going to try and get the dragon vehicles out, and I will. I will. I just have this in a convenient place. So... Oh, plonk. Well, there is a bridge right there. You can quite clearly see it. It's right there. Okay, so 3 consumables. The forester's house, and then we shall switch over to the dragon vehicles and see what we can get done with them. That's what I'm going to do. That's what we're going to do. Finish this mission and then get into some dragon vehicles. Consumables 1, 2, and loading platform, please, for the last one. Perfect. What? Right, there we are. Lovely stuff. Hey, those aren't bad. I know you said 2.5k. That's concurrent players, isn't it? That's not just everyone that's playing it. That would be really bad. Concurrent players, isn't it? But yeah, I know Roadcraft is a lot lower than SnowRunner. I think a lot of people made the mistake of thinking that Roadcraft was going to be SnowRunner Mark II. You know, it's clearly taken some aspects from SnowRunner, but it is its own beast. And I don't think people fully appreciate that, you know? I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm actually going to say that in a lot of ways, Roadcraft is so much better than SnowRunner. I think the cargo manipulation is so much easier to get a handle on. Like, the ability to just stack and pack cargo however you want is really, really good, and be able to strap it and all that kind of stuff. That's brilliant. I think where SnowRunner shines is the variation and the customization. I think a lot of people miss that in Roadcraft. You know, like, there's no vehicle customization. I know why it's limited in Roadcraft, and that's because, like, you know, you actually want people doing specific things with specific vehicles. That's kind of how it's worked, but yeah, I know, like, having to buy a different version of the mule in order to get a crane with it, you know, that kind of thing. Why can't we just have that as a customization option, you know? If you buy a mule, you can put the crane on or off, you know? That would be a better way of doing it, if you ask me. Instead of just having an entirely new vehicle. That is an expensive way of doing it. And being able to customize a vehicle mid-map as well, that would also be very useful, like being able to take the mule back to the garage and take the crane off, or put the crane on if you wanted to, you know? That would be a lot better, I think. I think that would make a lot of people much more pleased with the game in general, if you could do that. But yeah, Roadcraft is great. I do love Roadcraft. I do hope it doesn't go the way of Expeditions. Yeah, no, the soundtrack's great as well. Actually, I will say pretty much all of Saber's games have excellent soundtracks in that respect. You know, they are all very, very well done. Yeah, they're all very, very well done. But you know, that's how things are. People just prefer SnowRunner, and I can understand why. It's the original. It's, you know, it's the point at which Saber really made an impact into the market, I think. I mean, I know people like Spin Tires, I know people like Mudrun, but SnowRunner is where they kind of made their mark and got their major audience, and then they didn't seem to understand that that's not really what Saber's done up until this point, so, yeah. But hey, you know, we'll see what happens. Try not to be negative if we can. Just look at the positive side of things. I think both games are still going very strongly at the moment. But I did see a video online recently of, I can't remember who it was. It was one of the big SnowRunner commentators saying basically that, you know, Roadcraft has its fans, Roadcraft has its good things, but Saber need to give us a major update, you know, for Roadcraft. You know, we need a new phase, we need a new year of expansion, we need like a season pass or something to give us a roadmap and extra content to bring people back into it. Because I think if Roadcraft got that, then, you know, I think it would pick up players once again, you know? I think the community would come back to it if there was some sort of plan for it that continues, and I would love that. I would love Roadcraft to get like a roadmap plan, like a, hey, we've got a year pass coming for Roadcrafters. We're going to have lots of updates. Here's some new vehicles for you. Here's some new maps with new challenges. I would be... Oh, the game's done its thing again. Please don't do this to me. Let's just hopefully give it a second and... Oh no, please don't. Please don't crash. Please don't crash.
I'll be honest, I'm pretty disappointed right now.
Come on. Don't do this to me. That's a crash. That is a crash. That's annoying. Oh! Oh! Oh, no! We're back! Hey! Please don't do that again to me, SnowRunner. You know,
Nice.
You have, up until recently, been a game that has been incredibly stable in terms of that kind of stuff. And over the last couple of phases, you've become a little bit squirrely, shall we say. So, you stop, alright? I like you just the way you are. You don't have to start going crazy on me. Ah. Oh, goodness me. Right. Not far to go. And And then we'll have a look at what's left to do on this map and crack out one of the dragon wagons, I think. Go, perfection. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. So, what have we got left to do on this map? Seeking the light, service parts and short logs to the northern lighthouse. Okay. Steel cover, metal rolls and wooden planks. To there. Okay. Drowned order. Oh, that's the trailer. Actually, I brought the LTI over here to grab that trailer, so we can probably get that back at some point. Ooh. So that's those ones. Anything on this map for this one? Not that one, not that one, not that one. Nope. Nope. Oh, god damn it. We need some water for that mission as well. Are you kidding me? Ah, so annoying. So we need to do delivery from the woods in order to unlock this mission. Fuel there. Ugh, all the way over there. Are you kidding me? Annoying. Medium logs and short logs to the port. Okay, can't do that just yet. That needs drowned order, which is this one. Okay, so if we did that one, we could then do the logs, which would then allow us to do that last contract. Okay, but what are these? So we need fuel and vehicle part to there. Okay. We need a service part to there. Oh. Fisherman's tech. We need consumables and another spare part. Oh no, that's... wait. It's the same one. We need a spare part. We need fuel and a vehicle part. We need 3 wooden planks. A curtain side, a trailer. We need a foldable logging trailer. We need a curtain side scout trailer. Okay, okay. Let's get a vehicle out, shall we? I think the Padera, actually, at the moment. Let's give this guy a little go. That is very, very good fuel efficiency there. 4 point... Wow, that flicked down to 3 point something. Alright. Oh my lord, this is prompt. Holy moly. Oh yeah. This is a beautiful machine so far. So nice. See how this guy stacks up once we actually get him into the wild. First, let's have a look at the cargoes that we have here and what we might need. So, quick jump back to this map just to check what we need. So, service parts and short logs. I think I have the short logs ready for this mission, if I'm not mistaken. But I do need to get the service parts. Metal rolls and wooden planks. That's 4 planks. That's a lot of planks. A fuel and a vehicle part, which both come from this map. Vehicle part and fuel. Okay, so I can get those both over here. Cool. And if I dropped a service part there, I could pick up the fuel and the vehicle part and take them over there. Okay, so that's that, and I think there's a service part up here somewhere. Right here, I think yeah, just there. I left a service part for that particular mission. Mystery cargo. There is a curtain side trailer somewhere to port. Foldable logging semi-trailer. Curtain side scout trailer. Okay, so most of what I need to actually bring through to this map is I need to get 2 of the service parts. I did bring 2 service parts, a load of service parts back through, so I need to take 2 of them back with me. Then I need like 4 wood and another 3 wood. That's a lot of wood. So there's another spare part there, which I have on this map already, so that's okay. Curtain side trailer. Okay, so basically I need like 7 wood. Question is how much wood, how many small planks do I have? I think I've got a couple here. Do I have any up at the sawmill currently? Ooh, I do. I have another 5 there. Okay, so actually, if I was to say... to hook up this trailer, that's what I need. Take this trailer with me. Oh, stop being an absolute pain in the posterior trailer. Come on. You're spinning the wrong way. Right, okay, fine. You want to play like that? Let's play like that. Because I have a big crane. What do you have? Nothing. Nothing. Get off. Oh. This is a very powerful crane. Right. I need 2 of these, I think it is. so. Right. And I think rather than trying to turn this thing around again. Now, game, why do you mess me around with these winch points so much? Just give me the one I want. Perfect. Okay. 2 packed cargo. Right, let's go, let's go, let's go. Good turning circle. Lights aren't that great, but let's see what happens when it gets fully dark. I think we'll be heading up to the sawmill next just to grab a few more wooden planks. And then we'll try and get as many of these little jobs done as possible, I think. This thing is really quick. It is kind of like the Azov, the Azov 6, if you know, gave it a higher top speed, because it's got a very similar kind of wheelbase. An 8x8. I mean, it's not got always-on features like the Azov. That is really nice in that respect, the always-on features, especially with the advanced special gearbox. But being able to turn them off is also not a bad idea. How does the fuel usage change if we do go to all-wheel drive? It actually doesn't change. It doesn't change at all, so we'll just leave it on. Okay, good. Good. So we needed seven wood. How many do we have here? Just get back on your wheels, trailer. What do we have here, huh? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's not bad. In fact, if we unpack the cargo here and attach the trailer for a moment, we're just going to do a little bit of trailer rearrangement here, because what I can do is, if I put these service parts, this trailer, we can give this to the forester to deliver, and then we can load this long trailer up with those wooden planks, go up and get a few more and start delivering some. Perfection. That's where I'll just whack these on straight away. Crane is amazing. It is a great crane, isn't it? It's incredibly strong. There's no sag in the boom when you're at full extension, which is, even with the yellow crane, there is boom drop. After a certain point, you can't raise the boom because it just doesn't have any, just doesn't have the oomph for it. This is a really good crane. So that's 4. This last one here. You're gonna buy the Padera after Phase 17 comes out. Honestly, Walker, I think that's probably not a bad move. Is that on your main game, or is that on the one that you're doing at the moment? Where are you still in Yukon on that game, or have you moved to a new region now? Can't quite remember. Right, let's put that down for a moment. I'll hitch up this trailer. Pack these down. Packed. I'll drop this trailer off over here for this guy, because yes, we've got the short logs here, so that's for that one contract where we need the short logs and service parts. Yes, that's right. That's what it is, Walker, yes. Thank you for the reminder. Right, let's go and get 3 more... Ooh, it does nicely uphill in high gear. Look at that. It's just motoring along nicely. I can see myself getting into trouble very quickly with this truck, actually, considering its speed. Whoa! What on earth? God, it's like last week. Some of these water pits are ridiculous. They just hide holes to the center of the earth. Mind you, that was also very interesting because that was a good 60 to 70 degree angle there, and it didn't stall, which was amazing, actually. Ah, right, okay. You can't buy it in the Yukon region. That makes sense, I guess. So you're waiting until you shift to another region then, and then buy them then, huh? Oh, how I wish I could build a bridge over that little section. Every time I go over it, I always feel like my truck's about to flip. steady on, Pandera. Out to the left, please. That's better. Okay. It's got a... Okay, maybe the OHDs would be the better choice for this vehicle. It does seem... It has a slightly wobbly nature to it. I mean, it stays on its wheels for the most part. But it's a touch wobbly. So maybe... You know, maybe the wider stance of the OHD dualies at the back would help its stability. That could be a factor in this truck, but we'll see how it handles still. Right. Just fuel. Perfect. Maybe it'd be better as a saddle hauler instead of a flatbed hauler like this. One, two, and then loading platform. Take this one on board, please. This is going to make our load quite top heavy. Wood isn't too heavy, but it's still got some weight to it. That's centralized. Clamp it down. Perfect. Okay. That is all the wood we should need, at least for the moment. We'll take ourselves a little convoy through the next map. We'll take Forrester with us and have ourselves a little convoy, I think, through the next map. And then we can do a couple of things. I think we should actually be able to knock out a fair few missions in pretty quick succession, I think. Okay, let's go for that. Okay. To give us a little bit of stability there. Oh, steady on there. Can't even see where I'm going, game. Thank you very much. Those lights are terrible. That's one thing I will say about this thing. Whoa. Go for it. Go, 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 go. Go, go, go. Keep going. I think we might take a quick trip back to the garage before we go through the next map, just to change the tyres. Because it does seem to be a little bit wobbly, and I think the dual OHDs on the back would probably help with a little bit of stability. Interesting. I don't remember anybody else's reviews of this thing saying that it was wobbly. So that's interesting. That's like my first impression of this thing. I like it, but it's definitely got a couple of stability issues. So yeah, let's head back to the garage. We will get ourselves some OHD tyres, and then we'll head through to the next map, I think. Just to give me some peace of mind. Because the OHDs are still really good. I just don't want to fall over, you know? I'd rather not have that. It's very wobbly there. Or I just say hang it and go for it. It's so difficult to say. I need to raise this off a minute whilst I pack and unpack the cargo. Packed. Background. Let's just go. Let's just go. I've been dealing with the stability so far. If I appreciate the stability issues, and just allow myself to make allowances for that, then it should be okay. Okay. Right. I see, Walker. I see what you mean. Oh, no. So, it is recommended as a saddle hauler. Interesting. Okay. Fair enough. Well, we might switch to that later on. Depending on how things go. But for now, let's keep it as a sideboard bed. And go from there. So it really is kind of a cross between the Azov and the Bandit. That would be kind of a suitable comparison then, I guess, wouldn't it? The Azov and the Bandit. Because the Bandit is an 8x8 with a cab over crane that has stability issues and is best as a saddle hauler. And the Padera is an 8x8 with a cab over crane and stability issues and is recommended to be a saddle hauler. So it's kind of like an upgraded version of the Tatra, of the Bandit. I could actually really get behind that, I will say. I could really get behind that, you know? Right. Leave that guy there. Oh, the crane changed positions. Weird. The cranes don't do that, do they? No. Well, I suppose I wasn't driving that truck, so, you know, I suppose in that way, that's probably why the crane reset. But that's fine. Right, the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take all of this wood up the road as far as the cabin village. Alright. We are going to then drop the trailer and we'll go into the village itself, drop off the wood, then we can pick up the service part, drop that off at the dock, and then we can go and pick up the fuel and the vehicle part and drop this mission off, and then we can go back over to the metalworks and pick ourselves up 3 metal rolls, I think it is, for that other mission, and then we can do something then. Yeah, I think that will work. I think that will work nicely. I do love how prompt this thing is. It's really nice. It's a brilliant mover of a vehicle. The question is, does this thing get, in terms of saddles, I don't think this thing gets a high saddle, does it? It only gets a low saddle. That then brings... Oh, Nelly, told you I'd be getting myself into trouble. Going too fast, but I didn't want to brake because I knew that would be even worse than just laying off the gas. Yeah, this thing gets a... low saddle, but does it get a high saddle? That is the question. Because I'd like to use this with a 6-slot trailer with parts and fuel, but I'm not sure if that would be possible. Interesting. Actually, we're going to be kind of almost halfway to the metal plant already, so maybe we should just go over to the metal plant and get those metal rolls whilst we're here. Yeah, maybe we'll do that first and then come back over and dash about delivering the odd little bits of supplies, because we should still have time for that today. I kind of want to get the Avonhorn out today as well and give that a go, otherwise I'm not really going to be able to use it until next week. Unless I use it to do some setup. I suppose I could always do that, but then you guys will be robbed of my first impressions. Or like direct first impressions, should I say. But we'll see how we go. So, let's pause here a moment, put the mission that we want on track. Is it this one? No, boarding time. That's the one. Oh my lord, one of them's all the way up there. Darn it all. Right, fine. I thought they were all right down here in the village, but no, they're not, of course not. That would be just really convenient, wouldn't it? Oh, that is a love of Rhymony. How do you manage that? Like, seriously, how? Get off that. Yeah. Okay. Here's the question. Can I just drive straight through? Drop off. I think so. Those. Perfect. Pack. Storm crane. Right. Go and do the one up the hill and then back. SD One's put up a new review, has he? I'll have to watch that later. I'd be curious to see what he thinks. In fact, I'm curious to to see what all of the reviewers think, to be absolutely honest, because I actually really like these trucks. I think they could be really good, so see what others say about them. But yeah, I'm definitely kind of concurring with you on the fact, Walker, that this should be a saddle hauler, because it is definitely lacking a little bit of stability in terms of sideboard bed. Okay, those there for this one. Perfect. Makes me wonder, I dread to think how that service module would affect its stability now. It's a very tempting thing, that service module, with the one cargo slot and the like 400 fuel and all that kind of stuff. Not sure if that would be a wise idea for it. Yeah. I very much doubt that the Avonhorn will have stability issues. That thing looks pretty robust, if you ask me. And the dual rear tyres stick out so far that I can't imagine that thing ever falling over. Then again, stranger things have happened, but you know what I mean. It's just have to wait and see, basically. Boom, thank you very much. Right. Right, whilst we're here, let's go and get those 3 metal rolls that we need for that one mission. Actually, I have thought of a perfect thing that we can do to test out the Avonhorn. There are 2 jobs on the other map, on the river valley. One to deliver fertilizer and one to deliver concrete or slate blocks. Maybe we could do those with you. I don't know if we'll get both of them done today. That might be pushing. But if we make for doing a couple of small jobs on this map and leaving the bigger ones until later, then coming back to them next week and then focusing on the Avonhorn for the last bit of the stream. Yeah. Time permitting, of course. We'll have to see. This is all, theory crafting in my brain. It all very much depends on exactly how things go with our current missions. I have thoughts, I have ideas, stuff that we can do. It certainly pulls through here rather nicely. I think that's the first vehicle that I brought through here where I haven't had to use a winch at some point to get me through, even unloaded. Yeah, that's really good performance, actually. Because this crossing is a bit of a nightmare. Depending on the vehicle and the load that you're carrying at the time. Yeah, that's not bad at all, actually. Nice, nice, nice. Around. Oh yeah, this thing is a little mountain goat. Just look at it go. Bit of a stall out there, but come on, get off whatever it is that you're stuck on. Thank you kindly. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Performs really nice in high gear, I will say. This thing is it really does make me think of a cross between the Bandit and the Azov 6. Now, if this had access to those big balloon tires, it would be amazing. Right, 1, 2, and then one on the loading platform, please. I'm going to grab one more. Slot this in between these two. Perfect. Right down. Beautiful. Nice and compact. Look at that. Right. Let's get out of here. Yeah, so we'll get this back over to the other side. We'll drop these rolls off next to the trailer of wood. And then we will go and get our service part, deliver that, and then we'll get our fuel and vehicle part and deliver these. And then, time permitting, we will switch over to the Avonhorn and see what we can get done with that. Even if I can just give it a little test run through the forest or something, you know, just to kind of get a feel for how it handles its fuel consumption and all that. I think that will be a good starter, and then we can explore more next time. Because I think next week, guys, I will be using this vehicle and the Avonhorn as exclusively as I can, depending on, you know, the missions that we're doing, just to try and give them a more thorough testing and get a better feel for them, you know? Might try and get the cat back to base as well and get it upgraded with some of its new upgrades and such like, you know, just to give that a try out as well. I actually think the big cat with a high saddle and the 6-slot trailer with the fuel and parts might be quite a formidable machine, you know. The other option is the flatbed and a 4-slot ramped bumper pull trailer, you know. That would also give us 6 slots. It wouldn't give us as much fuel, but would give us the versatility of being able to drop the trailer and take like 2 supplies at a time to somewhere. So, you know, it's different setups for different situations. But yeah. Ooh, that's interesting, Walker. A Ford and a Chevy truck from Mudrunner. Going to be the next dual pack, huh? Nice. That'd be nice to see another Chevy in the works, and a Ford for that matter. I don't think. Am I right in saying that the Ford 750 is the only Ford that we have in the game? No, there's the highway truck, isn't there? The CLT. But those are the only two Fords, if memory serves me right. Unless I've completely blanked something. Yeah, the CLT 9000. Yeah, the truck that nobody uses ever. It's just. Why would you use it? Why would you use that terrible thing unless you were purposefully trying to handicap yourself, you know? Yeah, actually that'd be really nice to have a Ford truck that might actually be good to use, but you know, we'll have to see how things go with that. They could very well just give us another highway truck, and that would be terrible. Because even the good highway trucks that they've been introducing recently are still terrible. Because they're highway trucks. Used it only to shuttle roads. Yeah. That is pretty much the only thing that you can do with that vehicle. Stick a fuel tank on it and just run it down the tarmac. Because it really isn't suited to going... even like... dry off-road trails, I would be hesitant to take that vehicle down, because it just does not have the ability. It's like the new highway trucks that they've introduced into the game recently. The what's that one that had the biggest engine in the game? You know. Was that part of the Freightliner, or was that part of the Kenny fuel pack? No, it wasn't a Kenny, was it? I don't think it was a Freightliner either, actually, for that matter. But regardless, whatever it was, had the biggest engine in the game and no way of using any of the power because it didn't have diff lock and it didn't have all-wheel drive. It's just like. That's just going to dig you a hole and then look at you going, yeah, what do you want me to do now? Nothing, apparently. Or there is nothing that can be done. T880, yeah, that's the one. Ah, it was a Kenny. Right, yes. Yeah. I was disappointed with that one. I was actually wanting to use that vehicle because, you know, biggest engine in the game, massive torque numbers, you know, and there was talk early on before it came out. There was actually talk that it might actually be a useful truck because of the engine power that it's got, and then it wasn't. It just wasn't. So disappointing. Let's just dump these metal beams here. Oh. Where is that service part? Ah, it's just back there. So, I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll reverse down here. We'll drop these right here. this up. Put this on board. Pack, store. Put the mission on the track. That one? Yep, that's the one. Let's go. I can actually visit the fuel station here as well. But let's get as much done as we can without doing that. Oh, yeah, Walker, totally. You know, if the 880 actually had... If it got, like... There's... What's that truck that has the special coating on its tyres? There's two trucks that have special coatings on their tyres, and all they have is, you know, rear-wheel drive, but because of the special coating, they're actually not that bad. Can't remember which ones those are. W990. Yes, that's the one. There's so many numbers and registrations going, like, this game now, I can barely remember which one's which. But, like, if the 880 had something like those tyres, or even if it had just diff lock, or as you say, Walker, just all-wheel drive, it would be really interesting. You know, it still probably wouldn't be one of the best trucks in the game, but I think it would be to a point where it would be usable in the game, you know? Because this is a game about traversing the deepest mud, the harshest snow, you know, the deepest rivers, all that kind of stuff, and not having any plus points. I mean, yes, okay, the engine is a plus point, but it's not really, because it's got no way of using it, you know? I think every truck should have some sort of usable aspect to it, you know? Other than it's a... bingo. Other than, oh, it's just a fuel trail, you know? Right, let's get this road to loneliness done. One lot of fuel, please. And we'll go and grab a vehicle part from around the corner here. We'll get these delivered. There we are. Marvellous. Oh, uh-oh. This is... Oh. Right. Sneak through here. I forgot about that hole. Yet another roadblock that's pointless. Just makes life awkward. No matter. Can get through there at least, so that's not too bad. Okay. Ooh, hey, we can refill our light points here as well. One vehicle part. Oh, we already have full. Oh, okay. It's the fuel that we need. Okay, that's cool. It does have a nice sound, doesn't it? It does have a very nice sound. This thing. That's kind of why I want to get the Avonhorn out as well. I want to check out its sound, because I've heard it's good. We should have time to at least get it out of the garage and run it down the road, if nothing else, you know? Just to give it a little once out. There we go. A little bit of trouble getting up to the high gears, apparently. Terrain dependent. Alright. First thing we need to do is make a quick fuel stop. Then we can head on over to drop-off point. Hey, no problem, Walker. Thanks for stopping by. Always appreciated. I will catch you next time. Okay. So yeah, let's get some fuel first, and then we will head on down. Get this dropped off. I think for next time, I'm going to take this guy back to the garage. I'm going to put the OHD tyres on him. Give a little bit more lateral stability. And I think we will switch to a saddle. Now, whether that ends up being a high or a low saddle, I'm not sure. I can't remember what this guy actually has access to saddle-wise. I would be... I don't know, it has so many upgrades, I can't even remember now if it has a high saddle. I would like it to have a high saddle, because that would mean that we could use the 6-slot trailer, which, honestly, I really do think is kind of the best trailer in the game right now. You know, in terms of cargo, delivery capacity, as well as being, you know, not too big enough, not too big that it's awkward to maneuver. It's got the extra fuel and the repair parts, and it doesn't have a whole load of weird and wonderful wheels that snag the terrain like the 8-slot trailer does. That thing is... Oh, that was... I very quickly regretted using that in Quebec. That's where I was using it. I was towing around 2 of them in Quebec. Very much regretted that. Okay. Yeah, as we're actually drawing towards the end of the stream for today, guys, just a heads up for the next few streams coming out. I will be doing a stream on Wednesday for Farming Sim. Continuing our exploration of the Kinleg map. So do join me for that. We should be in some good stuff next time. I've been doing some planning, some work behind the scenes to get everything ready for that. So we should be able to make a good start on Wednesday. And then we'll be back with more SnowRunner next Sunday at the usual time. The week after, I'm actually on a back shift, so I won't be able to do a Wednesday stream, which is annoying. So I may or may not try and squeeze in an extra stream. Just depends on how things are. Just to try and make up for that lost stream, but we'll have to see exactly how that works out, because, you know, I just do not know if I'll be able to. If I could get, no, probably couldn't get up there. Probably could get down there. So I do need to go through the concrete plant and then across here. All the way up and around here. Something like that. Boom. Okay, cool. Let's go. But yeah, we'll see how things go. Either way, we'll be back to it as usual. like I said, I think next week we'll try and get as much use out of this guy and the Avonhorn as possible, just to give them proper chance in the spotlight. Like I've become one with the excavator there. Very annoying. But yeah, I'll try and draw up a plan of action for next week actually, because like I said, I want to try and finish one map and move on to the next, so I'll have to check what cargoes I need and start getting them sorted, you know? I can tell I'm going to start needing a lot of logs very soon. That means I'm going to have the stuff I need in order to deliver them. Good thing is that we do have a short log attachment on the on the Forester, and we do have a medium logging trailer that we have access to. The Forester can actually hook up, so the Forester can actually take short and medium logs currently, quite handsome. Just got to make sure we've got the number we need. For long logs, I haven't quite decided what I want to do. We do have that one mission on this map where we have to rescue a foldable logging trailer, hydrolift thing. But I've heard a lot of people say that the hydrolift trailer is actually pretty terrible in terms of a logging trailer. It's just not as flexible as the standard long log trailer. And I certainly don't want to use the extended logging trailer that has long and short logs on it, because that was even worse. I don't know how it compares to the hydrolift, but that was a really bad trailer. The trailer itself was massively heavy, and then manoeuvring it was an absolute pain because it's like a double articulation, which means if you have to reverse it, you just crash into your trailer that's crashed into your trailer, you know? Very, very bad in that respect. Like, manoeuvring with that thing was utterly painful the last time I tried using it. You didn't see that actually, guys. That was off screen. But trust me, it was not a pleasant experience. So I'll have to see what my best options are, because if I want the standard logging trailer, I'm going to have to pay for it. If I want the hydrolift trailer, I've just got to equip the saddle for it, because there's a free one that we can get, and we get to keep it as well. So, I don't know. Maybe I... Idea. What if I got the P16 out of the garage? The hydrolift on it. Can it have the hydrolift? I'd be surprised if it could. Because then I could make believe that the P16 has its proper logging attachment, you know? Like it does in real life. Like it has. The P16 actually has a folding logging trailer in real life like that. So I could make believe that it's got it. I don't know. I'll have to see. I'll work it out this week, guys. Don't you worry. But yeah, I'm gonna have to come up with a solution for delivering the long logs. That's the only thing that I really don't have the capacity to deliver just yet, and I do need them. So yeah. 1, 2, perfect. Oi, oi, oi. Right. That actually leaves quite good there. 2 fertilizer to there. Okay, mystery cargo to the port. Curtain side of trailer. There's the folding logging trailer, and I get to keep it, you see. So maybe that would be worthwhile doing. But right now, let's head back to the garage. Because I want to check on the Avonhorn. And I actually want to check on the P16 as well. I want to have a look at that. See if it can have the... I don't think I've brought the P16 out yet, have I? So... where are you at? There you are. I'd have to deploy it to check its options. So actually, let's go to the store dead quick. And if we look at the P16 and we preview it, then... so it can only have... Oh, well, that's an improvement. It can actually have the... used to be paired with a special pole trailer. Alright, so... that would work. That's a shame. How would that... This seems like the truck that should have... This feels like it should have the hydrolift saddle, you know, so it can have the folding dude. But never mind, that's fine. So we have actually another thing we can do is, whilst we're here in the garage, we can actually check this guy and just see what saddles he can get. Oh, we can get a high saddle. Perfect. There we go. Excellent. I could give him the hydrolift saddle. I think that would be the worst idea in the world. Considering that folded up, that would be incredibly tippy. But yeah, it can have a high saddle, so that's actually perfect. High saddle, crane. Yeah. Spot on. Okay. Okay, yeah, that works. We can go with that. So what we want for this is a big trailer. Now, do we have... Where is... Okay, so this guy still has that trailer. Actually, I think what I'll do, guys, rather than buy another one of these, is I'll bring the Derry back to base, right? We'll give the Avonhorn the Derry's trailer, okay? And the Derry will put the water tank on. I believe the Derry has a 2,200 litre water tank, which would be enough to do both of the missions. It'd have enough capacity to do both missions. Obviously in 2 trips, but it'd be a lot easier to get up to the water point with the Derry than it would be to get up there with the Chimera again. So yeah, I think we'll do that. We don't have any other of these trailers. Did we only buy the one of these trailers, or did we have ramped flatbed? Yeah, we only had the... Wow, I only actually bought the one of these trailers. That's actually kind of impressive. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, so... do we have time to do anything right now? If so, what? have 3 missions here. 20 minutes. I wonder, can we do this one? Because I have the Freightliner already here, ready to go. I wonder if we can knock this mission out in the 20 minutes that we've got left, because that would be very handy if we could do that. The question is, which way do we go? I think I'm going to head back to shore, and then quicker to go that way, or is it quicker to go that way? I think it's kind of 6 and 2 3s, although this way is a lot smoother. And then we'll head up and around here, hit the road, come down. Oop. I hate how it sometimes decides that it's going to rotate instead of just clicking. We'll come across here, come up and round here, up here, and to the mine. And let's see if we can get this done before the end of today. That would be a fantastic place to leave, because that would be yet another mission off the list of stuff we need to do, you know? Come on, that's it, Freightliner. Let's go. Shame all we have to do is deliver this trailer, and we don't actually have to take any other cargo up there, because we could have done that whilst delivering the trailer. Come on, let's go. Don't dig yourself in, Freightliner. Oh, let's have some lights. Perfect. Certainly if anyone can get to the quarry in 15 minutes, it's this guy. So... or mine, I should say. It's not a quarry. Ugh. It's definitely not a quarry. Oh. I love how the bilbot is still just stuck in a tree. I've just been like, yeah, we've got more important things to worry about. it's just sat there rotting in a corner. It's kind of funny, really, when you think about it. Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember now. I remember this route. I came down here with a scout before, I think. Now I'm coming down here with a giant truck with a trailer. Oh, Daddy. Oh, I'm glad for that tree being there. My fat thumbs cancelling the winch there at the most worst possible moment. But we got through, and that's all that matters. All that matters. We are through, and I think once we're back to the road, it's going to be very, very easy going. The only other big hurdle then is the scramble up to the mine at the other side of the map. Should be able to cover the distance pretty quickly once we're up there. Here's hoping, anyway. Come on, Freightliner. Come on, boy. I don't have to worry about fuel. Haha. Right. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Whoa! Steady! Okay, Lynx, don't forget you've actually not got highway tyres on this thing, so this thing will slide like crazy. Unlike the Padera. Actually, that is a point. Those Padera tyres did do really well for grip on asphalt when just driving on the road. Will you not do that, Freightliner, please? Oi, oi, oi! Stop it! Start sliding. Oi, 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 oi. Yeah, the Padera was not doing that at all, and it was on full mud tyres. So I wonder if those Padera tyres actually have a good tarmac rating, you know? Could be. I'd be interested to see the tyre ratings. I imagine they'll probably be out eventually. The spreadsheet I use, online spreadsheet that has all of the tyre ratings on it, so just waiting for it to update. Unless it's updated already and I haven't noticed, it could have done so. Never know. Right. Wow, that swung around weirdly. Huh. Okay. Please. Okay, thank you very much. See, there's another instance of, you know, no, I'm going to attach the auto winch to the tree that's right next to your tyre instead of the tree that's convenient and that I'm actually looking at. I will say, going across that crossing that bit of rock scree in this direction is nice and easy. Going across it in the other direction is hard. I mean, I was dragging a very large trailer at the time, but even still, the truck was sliding all over the place. Then again, it was the Chimera. I don't know what to believe anymore. Do not know what to believe. Other than the fact that I think ultimately the Chimera is a terrible truck and needs a lot of help in the power to weight ratio. Come on, Freightliner. Lovely stuff. first things first, just in case we lose the trailer, let's short flatbed trailer. I think we need to leave that bit of fuel in it, just so that it will turn in, if indeed. Oh, perfect. What has all of that marvellous work today done for us? 64%. So another 6% off. Okay, now we are really getting somewhere. That is a hair's width away from 2/3 done. Oh. Right. I want to look at... So we have these 2 missions. We've got all of the supplies we need for that. We just have to deliver it. And this one, we also have all the supplies we need. We just have to deliver it. We need fertilizer for the Hermit's cabin. We need a logging trailer over there. We need a curtain sider to the port. And we need a scout trailer to the watchtower. Now, are there any other missions on this map that need us to deliver anything? Let's just have a quick look before we end today, just so that I can kind of get my mind... Oh, right, okay. Medium logs and short logs to the port. Okay, cool. That's on the next map, isn't it? Oh, I've already delivered that water, haven't I? Yeah, I've already delivered that water. That's cool then. And then we need fuel there, a solar panel there, and a spare part there. Okay, well that's unlocked by delivery in the woods, which is delivery from the woods, which is that one. Ah, okay. So, actually, this map is very close to completion. So I say we focus on this. I will get some more logs for this mission. And I think next time we will try and do as much of this as possible. Yeah. Yeah. I think so. I think that's what we will try and do. And then, yeah, I think Selton River Valley, we're also kind of... We've got some slate blocks and the fertilizer. We've got some soybeans and potatoes. We've got a trailer there. We've got some water. And then I think, really, it's just... Yeah, so medium planks, medium logs, and then to that one, cargo controller, and... Oh, hey, do we actually have... Is that medium logs there? I think that's medium logs there, isn't it? Oh, it is. How nice. And we have... In this warehouse... Come on. Give me the warehouse. What do we have here? Oh, we have the medium planks there as well. Okay. That's not bad. Spare parts and cargo containers. So we need to bring some cargo containers from the ports. This one is going to be a pain. Planks, more planks, cement, packed sand. That's a lot of stuff there. Some buoys. More short logs, more medium logs, and then long logs, medium logs. Timely delivery, that's on the other map. That's on the other map. More short logs. Quite a lot of short logs. a lot of short logs. That's like 6 or so loads of short logs already. Okay. Right. Well, I'll do what I can. No promises to anything. But yeah, we'll pick up next time, I think, and we will attempt to finish this map. We have a very good amount of stuff already done on this map. A fair few things left to do, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad, honestly. And yeah, I think we're through the worst of it for this map. So, plan for next Sunday. We'll try and get this map as finished as possible. I don't think we will finish it immediately, but that's the goal. The goal is to try and finish this map next week. I might have to do a little bit of setup, a little bit of cargo moving to get us to a good position, but I won't do more than is necessary, you know? Basically, I'll just be fetching some logs, I think, and moving some vehicles to slightly better positions to get a better start next time. Cutting out some of the long distance stuff. Yeah, all in all, not going too badly. So yeah, we will pick up next time with the Avonhorn and the Padera. We'll put them properly through their paces in roles that should suit them quite nicely. Yeah. Other than that, we'll just see where it goes. So, thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I do hope you all enjoyed. Please do join me for Farming Sim on Wednesday, and like I said, we'll be back for this SnowRunner next Sunday. So, until then, guys, thank you very much for joining me, and as always, take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now, everyone.